he done burned the tires off that sucker. But I damn almost missed half of it because I was trying to run and grab the camera and get the heck out of there. Starting in 1991, the overhead camshaft V8 started off in the Lincoln Town Car and was labeled a modular engine. The 1996 Mustang GT was fitted with a 2-valve single overhead cam modular engine. Of course, there was the Cobra later to come with its 4-valve dual overhead cam version. The Ford modular engine is Ford Motor Company's overhead cam, or OHC, or a DOHC, whatever, V8 or V10. They had truck motors named Tritons. The family of modular engines got its name from using its tooling, not the modular design just because you can take a head and flip it around and bolt it on and use it. That was not the way. The modular came from the tooling that they used from engine to engine in their plants. The 5-liter Coyote engines also got some of their tooling from the older 4.6-liter dual overhead cam and 5.4-liter 4-valve engines from yesteryear. The Triton engines was 1997 to 2010, while the Intake name was used for some time at Lincoln vehicles. The dual overhead cam version of the engine was first produced in the Romo, Michigan. Then additional capacity was added to the Windsor, Ontario plants. That's where you get your aluminum blocks. And then, of course, the Tesca, which everybody loves. It builds some power. The cylinder bore of these modular engines, the 4.6 liter, was 3.552 or 90.2 millimeters. The piston stroke was 3.543 or 90 millimeters, making a square engine. The total cc's of this motor was 4,601, making it a 4.6 liter. The V8 offered a 2-valve, 3-valve, and 4-valve engine, which we still have today. The aluminum or cast iron blocks, depending on the application or where they were manufactured. I've already said these motors were almost square. The deck height of these things was 8.937 inches or 227 millimeters. The rod length is 5.933, 4.6 liter or 1.67 rod to stroke ratio, measuring in at 3.937 millimeters, which is common with all members of the modular family V8s except for the new 5-liter Coyote engine, utilizing the same firing order, HO or the 351. The 4.6 liter 2-valve differences coming from two different plants, the Windsor and Ontario, use different main bearings, head cam caps, interconnected cam cages versus individual caps per journal, camshaft gears versus bolt-on 11-bolt versus 13-bolt. The 4.6 liter 3-valve V8 installed in a 2006 Ford Mustang, the 3-valve 4.6 with variable camshaft timing VCT appeared in the 2005 Mustang. The engines were equipped with an electronic charge motion control valve CMCV system that provided increased air velocity at low engine speeds for improved emissions and low RPM torque. Cylinder block materials varied between aluminum used in the 2005 Mustang GT, your WAP blocks, and a cast iron used in the 2005 Ford Explorer and 2006 Ford Explorer Sport Track. The same aluminum heads are used in all applications. The 4.6 liter version of the modular engine was introduced in 1993 in the Lincoln Mark. At the same 4.6 liter V8, Lincoln marketed the engine under the same intake after 1995. The 1993 to 1998 4-valve engines featured cylinder heads with 2 intake ports per cylinder, split port and variable runner length intake manifolds, which either vacuum or electronically activated intake manifold runner controls IMRC plates, opens and closes some runners for low and high RPM. The new cylinder heads in 1995 featuring the tumble port style, your C heads, with 1 intake port feeding 2 intake valves, new camshaft profiles, and fixed runner lengths, intake manifolds. These changes resulted in more power and more torque and a broader power band when compared to the earlier 4 valves. All 4.6 liter 4-valve engines featured an aluminum engine block with a 6-bolt main bearing caps. The only exception being the 2003-2004 SVT Cobra, which had a 4-bolt main cast iron block. The 1990 earlier engines featured an aluminum block cast in Italy by Fiat, stated a Tesca block. The SVT Cobra has been hand-built by SVT Ford technicians, Roma, Michigan plant. The 4-valve dual overhead cam 4.6 liter engine was one of the world's 10 best engines, listed from 1996 to 1997. After years of using the 4-valve, 2-valve, and the 3-valve engines, a new motor came out, the 5-liter Coyote, the world's first implementation of its cam torque actuated CTA, or twin independent variable cam timing, VCT, in the V8 engines, which allows the powertrain control module, PCM, to advance and retard intake and exhaust cam timing independently of each other, improving power, fuel economy, and torque and emissions. These engines are produced in Ford's Essex, Ontario, Windsor, using the modular tooling from yesteryear. By now, the Gen 3 has its own tooling, but when they came out with the Gen 1, they were still passing along tooling. The rods were the same length, the 5.993 or whatever it was. In 2008, Ford made a revision of the Coyote engine, most notably the GT edition of high-pressure direct injection, in addition to its existing port injection system. An increase of piston bore diameter from 92.2 millimeters to 93 millimeters, 3.63 to 3.66 inches. The increase of the bore size resulting from the adoption of plasma wire arc transfer cylinder liner technology in place of the more traditional sleeved engines. The block brings a total displacement of 4,951 to 5,035 cc's, or 307 cubic inches, bringing it from 302 to 307 cubic inches. Gen 3 specification camshafts, enlarged intake and exhaust ports, so more of a lope, more air getting in, those valves are staying open more. The compression ratio up to 12.1 with a new manifold charging that engine to 7,500 RPMs. We all know it goes to 8. Bringing up 460 horsepower and 420 foot-pounds of torque. They also, in earlier years, had a Boss, which was a high-performance version of the Coyote engine. Some say it's better. The high-performance engine, dubbed the Roadrunner, internally by Ford, it was produced under the Boss 302 Monarch, used for Ford's recruited Boss 302 Mustang for the 2012 model year. The Boss 302 received CNC ported aluminum heads, providing additional airflow and strength, and higher lift exhaust camshaft profiles used in the valve train components were lightened as much as possible, including the use of sodium-filled exhaust valves, while strengthening the powdered metal rods and forged aluminum pistons. Piston cooling jets were also deleted, which are standard in the 5-liter modular engine. Exterior changes included a high mount intake plenum opposed to the standard engine low mount one, with shorter runners to improve high RPM power. The power is increased from 412 to 444 horsepower. The Boss redlines at 7,500 RPMs, but has been verified to be stable all the way up to 8,400 RPMs. That's the modular engine, folks. I hope you all enjoy. That's just a little brief history. Thought you should know. Check it out. I'll catch y'all later. Bye.